The threat of being different often brings about fear and misunderstanding, rather than simple indifference. Sigma males embody this notion. They are men who break away from societal norms, forge their own paths, and resist conforming to societal expectations. This deviation often leads people to label them as bad guys, not because of any wrongdoing, but because they choose to live life on their own terms. There is a magnetic and somewhat intimidating quality in a man who refuses to be controlled, who values his own truth, and who stands firm in the face of judgment. In a society that expects men to follow the crowd, assert themselves in specific ways, and chase after status, Sigma males challenge the status quo by simply being authentic, independent, and unapologetically themselves. Their very approach to life unsettles those around them. They are men who provoke whispers, stir curiosity, and are often misunderstood because they cannot be easily categorized or controlled. This label reflects society's struggle to understand men who refuse to fit into neatly defined roles. The unsettling truths of Sigma males. One of the reasons Sigma males are often seen as bad guys is their tendency to be right more often than most. This can be unsettling. Sigma males have a unique ability to see through illusions that others might find comforting, leading to tension and discomfort. They possess a deep understanding of situations, often noticing what others overlook. Uninfluenced by popular opinions and unswayed by emotions, they cut straight to the heart of the matter. This sharp insight can be threatening to those who prefer to live in a bubble of comfort, avoiding difficult truths. When a Sigma male speaks his mind, his words can shake the status quo, making others feel exposed or vulnerable. It's not about being difficult or contrary. It's about a profound clarity that disrupts the comforting narratives others cling to. This can lead to resentment, as people might view him as cold, overly critical, or even arrogant because he doesn't sugarcoat the truth to spare feelings. His confidence in his perceptions and decisions can be intimidating, especially when it contrasts with the indecision or denial of those around him. In a world where half-truths and polite lies are often preferred, being right too often and always celebrated. Instead, it can lead to Sigma males being labeled as bad guys, not because they're wrong, but because their clarity disrupts the comfortable narratives others hold on to. A refusal to tolerate disrespect. Sigma males do not tolerate disrespect, and this often contributes to their reputation as bad guys. In a world where people are usually expected to stay quiet and keep the peace, a Sigma male's refusal to accept anything less than respect makes him stand out. He won't smile through condescending remarks, tolerate being talked down to, or allow anyone to undermine him. This unwillingness to back down when someone crosses the line makes him appear tough and unapproachable. His standards for how he is treated are non-negotiable. If someone disrespects him, he addresses it directly. No passive-aggressive behavior, no silent treatment, just a clear boundary set. And if the disrespect continues, he isn't afraid to walk away, even if it means severing ties with people he once considered close. This level of self-respect can be surprising to those accustomed to more forgiving or easygoing individuals, and it often earns him labels like difficult or unreasonable. However, this behavior isn't about seeking power or control. It's about maintaining his dignity. Sigma males know their worth, and they won't compromise on that to make others comfortable. This can be intimidating for those who are used to pushing boundaries without much pushback. His ability to stand firm, even when it might cost him relationships or opportunities, sends a powerful message that he values himself above the approval of others. This strong protection of his self-respect challenges societal expectations of how men should behave, contributing to the perception of him as a bad guy. He's not afraid to shake things up to demand the respect he deserves, making him a force to be reckoned with, a man who won't be silenced or diminished by anyone. Decisiveness without hesitation. Sigma males are known for their ability to make tough decisions without hesitation, adding to their bad guy image. While others might hesitate, overthink, or seek approval before making a choice. A Sigma male trusts his instincts and acts decisively. He knows what he wants and what he's willing to do to achieve it, which can make him appear cold or unfeeling to those who struggle with indecision. His decisiveness isn't about being reckless. It's about being deeply in tune with his values and goals. When faced with difficult choices, he doesn't waver or let fear hold him back. Instead, he evaluates the situation, considers the consequences, and moves forward without second-guessing himself. This clarity can be intimidating to others, especially those who prefer to avoid making hard choices or who get bogged down in what-ifs. To some, his ability to make tough decisions quickly can seem ruthless, especially when those decisions involve cutting ties, walking away from opportunities, or standing up against something that doesn't sit right with him. But for a Sigma male, it's not about being ruthless, it's about being real. He understands that life often requires difficult decisions, and he's not afraid to make them if it means staying true to himself. This strength can easily be mistaken for a lack of empathy or a disregard for others' feelings, but it's really about self-respect and integrity. A Sigma male knows that dragging out decisions or sugarcoating the truth only leads to more pain in the long run. His willingness to take decisive action, even when it's uncomfortable, is what sets him apart, and it's also what can make him seem like a bad guy to those who aren't used to such straightforwardness. Living life on their own terms. Sigma males often find themselves labeled as bad guys because they live life on their own terms, defying the conventional path that society expects. While most people focus on fitting in, seeking approval, and following what's considered normal, Sigma males are busy carving out their unique way of life. They aren't interested in living by someone else's rules or measuring their success by society's standards. This independence can unsettle those who find comfort in conformity. When a Sigma male rejects the typical life script, whether it means pursuing an unconventional career, choosing not to settle down in the traditional sense, or simply living life on his own terms, it challenges the norm. His choices can make others uncomfortable because they show there's another way to live, one that doesn't rely on others' validation. What makes him stand out even more is that he doesn't seek approval for his lifestyle. He's not living differently to make a statement or draw attention. He's doing it because it feels right to him. This authenticity is rare, and it can be seen as rebellious or defiant in a world that often pressures men to fit into certain molds. A Sigma male's refusal to conform can make him seem like a threat to the social order. His lifestyle choices can also come across as aloof or detached. He doesn't need the same things that many people crave, such as social status, external validation, or a traditional sense of security. Instead, he's driven by his own passions, interests, and desires, which can be hard for others to understand. This difference in priorities is what often leads to him being labeled as a bad guy. But in reality, he's just living a life that's true to himself. His unconventional approach to life is not only intriguing, but also a powerful statement of self-reliance and authenticity. Disregarding emotions in favor of logic. Sigma males are often seen as bad guys because they tend to disregard others' emotions. But it's not that they're heartless, they just don't let emotions dictate their actions or decisions. They focus on logic, facts, and what needs to be done, rather than worrying about how someone might feel about it. This approach can make them seem cold or indifferent, especially to those who are more emotionally driven or who expect others to cater to their feelings. For a Sigma male, getting caught up in emotional drama is a waste of time and energy. He doesn't believe in sugarcoating the truth or tiptoeing around issues just to spare someone's feelings. If something needs to be said or done, he'll do it directly, without any fluff. This bluntness can be jarring for people who are used to more emotionally sensitive interactions, and it can easily be misunderstood as cruelty. His approach is rooted in efficiency and practicality. He understands that emotions are important, but he also knows they can cloud judgment and lead to unnecessary complications. By keeping a clear head and focusing on the bigger picture, he's able to navigate life's challenges more effectively. However, this approach can come off as dismissive to those who expect emotional engagement, leading to him being labeled as a bad guy. This disregard for others' emotions isn't about being selfish or uncaring. It's about staying true to himself and not getting bogged down by other people's emotional baggage. A Sigma male knows that if he allowed every emotion his or others to influence his decisions, he'd lose his direction. So he chooses to rise above the emotional noise, which can make him seem detached or even ruthless. But it's actually a sign of his inner strength and commitment to his own path. In a world where emotional sensitivity is often expected, a Sigma male's emotional detachment can be seen as rebellious or even threatening. It's one of the traits that sets him apart, making him both intriguing and intimidating. And it contributes to the perception of him as a bad guy. Embracing the dark side. Sigma males have a side that can be intense, and that's one reason they're often misunderstood and labeled as bad guys. They aren't afraid to explore and embrace their darker side, the parts of themselves that are less socially acceptable or that most people prefer to hide. This isn't about being sinister or evil. It's about acknowledging the full spectrum of human nature and not shying away from it. Sigma males understand that everyone has a dark side, thoughts, desires, and emotions that society tells us to suppress. Rather than denying this part of themselves, they accept it as a natural part of who they are. This acceptance gives them a depth and complexity that others might find intimidating or unsettling. A Sigma male's willingness to confront and integrate his darker impulses makes him more self-aware and grounded. But it can also make him seem mysterious or even dangerous to those who are uncomfortable with the darker aspects of life. This trait often leads others to label him as a bad guy, not because he's doing anything wrong, but because he's unafraid to go where most people fear to tread. He doesn't shy away from tough situations or difficult decisions, even when they require confronting the less pleasant sides of human nature. This depth and willingness to face his own darkness can make him seem unpredictable, as others might not fully understand his motivations or what drives him. But for a Sigma male, this exploration of the dark side is about achieving a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. He's not afraid of what he might find in the shadows, and this fearlessness can be both attractive and intimidating. In a world that often promotes superficial positivity and the suppression of anything unpleasant, a Sigma male's embrace of his darker side sets him apart. It's one of the reasons why he's often seen as a bad guy, because he challenges the notion that we should always be light and happy, and he embraces the complexity and duality of human nature. This depth, while misunderstood, is a key part of what makes him so compelling and unique. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.